After years of subtle shade, cryptic lyrics, and unresolved tension, a DNA test has just dropped a bombshell that no one was prepared for. Are we really about to say goodbye to Jim Jones and Chrissy forever? Or is this whole relationship just a big hoax created in Harlem? According to anonymous sources who leaked direct messages and a messy chain of deleted Instagram posts, Cameron is allegedly the real father of Chrissy Lumpkin's child. And guess what that means? This isn't just messy, it's career-ending, relationship-destroying, and legacy-crushing all at once. Oh, and Jim still doesn't know. Let's go back a moment to when Chrissy Lamon appeared on Instagram, looking radiant as if she had just returned from an island vacation. The results of the random medical test she claimed she took for health reasons were a full paternity test. And the results are wilder than a reunion episode without any security. Or is someone playing chess while the rest of us watch reality TV checkers? With a 30-year-old football player and a trust fund, people were saying things like, "She looks refreshed," "That glow isn't from skincare," and "Sis looks pregnant." Of course, Chrissy kept her composure and posted a few selfies and some old videos of her and Jim Jones. But nothing was normal at the time or now. Behind the scenes, something was simmering. Awkward silences, quiet glances, unfollowing and refollowing each other like teenagers with commitment issues. And now the internet is in full meltdown mode because what began the Dipset dynasty, once untouchable, gradually began to show cracks years ago. Clever disses in interviews, subliminals, and freestyles, as well as awkward body language at public appearances, all screamed, "Something ain't right." However, fans dismissed it off as brothers fight, saying it's just Harlem politics, because a DNA test recently confirmed a rumor that allegedly links Cameron, yes, Killer Cam, to a child Chrissy never even publicly announced. According to sources close to production at Love and Hip Hop, Chrissy and Cameron were allegedly rekindling their friendship in late 2023, around the time Jim was filming his solo spin-off series. This could have been a coincidence or the ideal opportunity to explore unfinished business without the cameras watching. According to these insiders, Chrissy and Cameron had been exchanging direct messages since early over old memories. Nevertheless, the tone allegedly changed after Chrissy started complaining about Jim's emotional instability and lack of maturity. From then on, there were hazy late-night FaceTimes, sporadic meetings, and ultimately, according to one anonymous crew member, a whole weekend in Miami that nobody was supposed to know about. But now we all do. It gets messier because the same crew member claims that Chrissy returned from that trip acting strangely, becoming suddenly protective of her phone, avoiding Jim, and worst of all, beginning to avoid the cameras completely. Asked Chrissy to do a confessional interview, but she declined, saying she wasn't in the right headspace. 3 months later, Chrissy stops drinking on camera, starts wearing looser clothes, and has a mysterious breakdown while filming. When asked what that meant, she sobbed and left the set. The scene never aired, because it seems that legal blocked it from airing because it referenced personal medical information without consent. If that doesn't scream pregnancy, what does? But here's where the twist hits you in the face. Fans began noticing little slip-ups when Cameron posted a now-deleted Instagram story back in February with the caption, "Some things you got to claim even if they're messy." Real ones know what I mean. No one took much notice of it, thinking it was just another cryptic Camism, until 2 days later, a burner account posted a blurry picture of Cam and Chrissy at a discreet clinic in Jersey, wearing hoodies and masks. And obviously not at a church cookout, a Twitter user wrote, "If that's Cam and Chrissy at a lab, I swear Harlem has officially eaten itself." Another user said, "I've been betrayed by those close, but I never show it. Harlem's still mine. I just don't show it." Still another user claimed that Jim was out here doing weather reports with Fat Joe while his girl was doing maternity visits with Cam. Always knew it, so now the rumors were rampant, blogs were going crazy, and Reddit threads went crazy. Talk had PowerPoint presentations called The Fall of Jim and Chrissy, a timeline of deceit, DNA, and Dipset. But the final nail in the coffin came when a former employee, let's say it wasn't a negative match, left with a smile on his face and tears on hers. Now pause and let that sink in. There's a child involved, whose paternity allegedly traces back to Harlem's most unpredictable rapper. And Jim was totally unaware of this, at least at the time. Betrayal to a full-blown psychological thriller because someone was going to reveal everything, whether Chrissy wanted to or not, And it wasn't Mona, it wasn't Cam, it was Mama Jones. Yes, Mama Jones reportedly learned about the situation weeks ago when she ran into a former VH1 intern who told the truth, believing Mama already knew. The intern allegedly said, "It's crazy how Cam's been sneaking around with Chrissy like nobody's going to find out." Mama Jones reportedly responded, "Come again, you can imagine how quickly that conversation turned into a 4-minute Mama Jones allegedly confronted Jim that same evening, knocking on his condo door and yelling, 'Your girl is pregnant and it's not yours,' according to a voice memo that contained too many profanities to count. Jim didn't believe her at first, but curiosity kills loyalty, so he did what any suspicious man in denial would do. He looked through Chrissy's phone while she was asleep and discovered the screenshots, audio notes, and hidden folder labeled Miami. That's when the whole truth hit him, and Jim sat there in silence, staring at his phone as if it had just stabbed him. There are time-stamped selfies of Chrissy and Cameron in a fancy condo in the chest inside the hidden folder. There is also a video of them on a yacht with Cam shirtless, Chrissy laughing, and someone obviously saying, "Y'all go make a beautiful baby" in the background. "I meant what I said last night. Whatever happens, I got you," Cam stated as the audio notes struck even harder after Jim had replayed that footage 8 times. Whispered, "I'm afraid it's yours," another Chrissy said. According to reports, Boom Jim broke a wine glass on the kitchen wall. The real twist is that Jim didn't just stop at the phone snooping. Nah, Harlem pride doesn't fold like that. He allegedly hired a private investigator to track Cam's movements, Chrissy's calls, and anything that could prove this wasn't just a drunken mistake, but an ongoing betrayal, according to our PI report. Chrissy woke up in the middle of the night, and according to sources close to the building staff, security was called for a domestic verbal escalation at 3:47 a.m. No police were involved, but Chrissy was seen leaving 20 minutes later in sweats and slippers, visibly shaken. The source was 47 pages long. Page 19 showed Chrissy and Cameron leaving a hotel in Midtown. Page 34 showed Cam delivering a wrapped package to Chrissy's cousin's apartment. This cousin was allegedly helping her stay under the radar during the entire mess. Page 41 showed receipts from a private clinic time-stamped precisely 1 week after the Miami trip. Let's face it, Chrissy isn't some wide-eyed 22-year-old who got caught up. She's a grown woman who has been with Jim for decades. She has endured arrests, financial difficulties, and his refusal to marry her for, say, 15 years. Throughout all of this, Cameron has been eerily silent. No press releases, denials, or clapbacks, just vibes. But last week, he shared a clip from the old Dipset "I Really Mean It" video with the caption, "Some bonds break, some just evolve." If she was ever truly loyal, or if she was simply waiting for an exit strategy. Enter Cameron stage left in a fur coat and a smirk cam. In any case, I'm still standing, and fans went crazy. One remark said, "The most Cameron thing ever is Cam." Confirming the affair without confirming the affair. This is similar to what would happen if a buddy had a mixtape, but this is where the scandal turns sinister because after Chrissy allegedly left Jim's condo that night, she went straight to Cam's place and hasn't returned. The internet went crazy, and Twitter was a crime scene where Chrissy Dunn got pregnant by Jim's best friend. This is the end game, so someone calls Tyler Perry. This isn't even reality TV anymore. Even celebrities began to comment in Cambella. She posted a picture of wine with a mysterious prayer emoji and the caption, "Some women drink water, some drink consequences. Choose wisely." Y'all forgot that these Harlem boys are different and loyalty isn't in their vocabulary, Tahiri tweeted. Next came the audio leak, which purportedly showed Jim Jones sobbing and speaking to an unidentified friend. In the clip, he is heard saying, "I should have never trusted him, bro. He knew what she meant to me. He knew, and she knew too. It wasn't an accident. That's what hurts." The clip spread like wildfire, with some fans sympathizing, others clowning, and a few raising questions like, why is everyone did you forget that Jim had cheated on Chrissy in public at least 7 times? Good point, but 2 wrongs still don't make a paternity test. In the meantime, Cameron hasn't publicly acknowledged or denied the DNA results, but insiders claim he's preparing a candid podcast episode called Confessions of a Harlem Gentleman, in which he will allegedly clear the air and set the record straight. He may be having a baby with his friend's long-term fiancé, and the Depet chain has officially been melted down into baby toys. We'll have to wait and find out whether he does or not. According to a source close to Cam, he has no regrets for anything he said, saying that Jim was never sincere with him in the first place, so why maintain a phony friendship? Chrissy, on the other hand, is said to be extremely emotional, but she is standing by her decision. According to an insider, she told them, "I'm not proud of how it went down, but I won't apologize for choosing peace." The kid is supposedly due in September if the timeline aligns, and if you're hiding out in Cameron's guest room while the internet burns down around you, that's hardly peace, ma'am. No gender reveal, no insiders claim that a multi-million-dollar offer is already on the table for an exclusive televised sit-down between all three parties, Chrissy, Cam, and Jim, with Mama Jones serving as the surprise moderator. However, fans are demanding a public showdown. They want Jim versus Cam, Harlem versus Harlem Baby versus Blunt, and VH1 foaming at the mouth. Jim has gone ghost, deleted several Instagram posts, turned off comments, and canceled a public club appearance in Brooklyn, citing mental health reasons. Tanya J. Cameron's ex from his Purple Haze era, who once claimed to have helped Cam build his early mixtape empire and to have been ride or die before the money hit, suddenly comes out of the shadows with an Instagram live that had everyone's jaws on the floor. She is seen sipping wine in a silk robe and saying, "I'm not going to stay quiet anymore, you all worshipping this fake Harlem gentleman." The truth only makes everything worse, and speaking of truth, that's when the Harlem drama escalates into a full-fledged legal saga. However, let me tell you, within 48 hours, she posted purported text messages between her and Cam from just 4 months ago, one of which read, "Cam, you always had my back. These new girls are just drama." People began to speculate that Tanya was just bitter and clout-chasing, or did she know something we don't? Cam is truly manipulative, calculated, and reckless with people's hearts. Chrissy isn't the first person he used, and she won't be the last. She better hope that baby even makes it here healthy with all this stress. Tanya subsequently stopped chasing toxic women and returned home, which is correct, according to Tanya, who said that Cam was still asleep with her when Chrissy was already pregnant, and this is where things really go south. According to a cease and desist letter purportedly sent by Cameron's legal team to Tanya, which was leaked by a gossip page, Tanya is ordered to stop spreading false information, defamatory content, and unauthorized communications that suggest paternity conflicts or infidelity narratives involving Cameron Giles. Here's the big question. If there's nothing to hide, why send a legal threat? Jim Jones's legal team apparently took note, as they formally requested the original. According to sources close to VH1, Chrissy initially refused a second test when VH1 producers requested it for insurance reasons, and apparently Cameron also backed out saying, "I already know what it is. I don't need no test to tell me what my father did." The DNA report citing emotional damages, defamation by association, and paternity fraud implications is causing people to wonder if the test was tampered with, if this whole circus was a setup, and if Chrissy fabricated the results to manipulate Cam into protecting her while attempting to emotionally destroy Jim. The heart already knows. That line alone went viral on TikTok, with some calling it romantic and others calling it delusional. One TikTok creator stitched the clip and said, "Bro thinks he's in a Netflix drama." Nah, fam, this is Love and Hip Hop, Maury edition. Meanwhile, Mama Jones is reportedly organizing a prayer circle press conference in Harlem this weekend to bring clarity and spiritual healing and expose the real enemy. When asked who the real enemy is,